Well, it's me again, and this is my podcast and my world, where I take you along on an adventure where we get to explore everything and anything that goes on in my mind. Oh boy, is it random, is it crazy, it's nuts, it's all over the place. So grab yourself a cup of coffee and let's have a good time. Well, hello there, friends. It's me again. I'm your host, Graham, and this is my world. And we are just going to go ahead and continue a little bit with, what it means to take a red pill, and my adventure, and blah, 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 blah. Kind of pretty much where we left off, sorta. This actually is the second time I've done this particular podcast. So, hopefully, you get the same content that you would have had before. But, whatever. Yeah, so there's lots and lots of different parts of red pill. I think I said that, but I don't remember if I did. So let's just go ahead and just dive right in, and let's just go to what I got already. And with that leads me into the next part of red pill. And I'm just going to dive right into liberalism, conservatism, and progressivism. Now, I call them all isms because it is a way of living your life. It goes so deep into who you are. The democratic way of thinking is, argue with me if you will, call me idiot, stupid, please, whatever, I don't care. It is my thought, how I feel. I have a constitution backing what I say. Thank God. Okay, so the Democratic Party, they are extremely powerful because they have integrated themselves into many, many, many different aspects in our society. They have taken over our educational system. That's huge. They have taken over our medical community. They have taken over our banking system. They've taken over everything. The thing is, people are waking up. People are taking their red pill, and they are starting to notice, which is plain as day because the media and the Democrats, which are one and the same basically, aren't hiding anything anymore. They're doing what they do right out in front of everybody. It's plain as day. All it takes is for someone that is not on the blue pill to notice it, or someone who is willing to take the red pill to notice it. Hillary Clinton was going to win the presidency in a landslide. She thought this so much. The media thought this so much. And they were so invested in the fact that she was going to win no matter what. She didn't even feel the need to speak at one of her own rallies. Instead, she chose to bring out famous singers, if that's what you want to call them, artists, and performed a concert for the people who came to see her and hear her speak. She knew she had their vote. And that's actually what's quite funny is she knew she had their vote. She knew that she was going to win. They already had Bernie Sanders on their side, and they were paying, well, heck, they paid all three of the other candidates that ran against her. They were all being paid, and they were all helping out the Hillary Clinton thing to get her elected. Even Bernie Sanders, yeah. So, for years, I have watched the Democratic Party. And they call themselves all kinds of names, and people call them things. But they are what they are. They say one thing and they do something completely different. Now, Republicans do the same thing. So one is not any better than the other necessarily. Okay? But the Democrats, I've watched for years, election cycle after election cycle after election cycle, and then watched the outcomes. The Democrats usually rely on the feeble and the ones that don't use their own brain to get reelected. The more people that start thinking for themselves, the less power they have. They've noticed that the black community, which in past has been primarily Democrat, okay? They've noticed that their black numbers are dwindling. And so they have been trying desperately to get more voters on their side. Isn't it kind of funny? Just think about this. How the gay and lesbian community somehow manages to add a Q, I'm assuming for queer, which would basically say gay and lesbian, whatever, I guess. And then transsexuals are now involved. I mean, they just keep adding more letters. They keep adding more to it. Because they know the more they add to it, the more voters they're going to get. They are preying on the gay community in order to basically continue getting their voters up. That's exactly why they pushed so hard. They knew that they couldn't get the vote through Congress for gay marriage, so they pushed it through the courts to do it, which, it's honestly, it's unconstitutional. It goes against the Constitution. The courts didn't have the right to do that. Now, I'm not saying that I disagree with gay rights and gay marriage. On the contrary, I think that any human who wants to marry another human should have the right to do that. That's my personal belief. That's my personal feelings. As a matter of fact, as an officiant, I've done that. I have married 2 guys. I have no problem with it. Doesn't bother me any. Okay? But I don't think it's up to the courts to make that decision. Nor do I think that it is up to the federal government to make that decision. I think that decision should be based on a state-by-state basis. Each individual state should have that right to pick and choose if that's what they want to do or not. It's like, for example, Texas. If Texas decides, because they're a very Christian state and very old-fashioned, if they don't want to have it, they shouldn't be forced upon it. They have religious rights. And where are the religious rights? From what I can see, people that have a faith or a belief, if they refuse to bake a cake for a gay couple because it goes against their religious beliefs, or marry them, they're the ones that are in the wrong. And I'm sorry, that doesn't make any sense to me. At all. Makes no sense to me. There's many, many people that do cakes out there. There's many people out there that perform weddings. And I'm sure there's a hell of a lot more that are willing to perform that wedding or bake that cake than there are that aren't. I think this is another another Democrat way, or modernist or progressive way to get what they want. They had to get gay rights pushed through in order to feel that they could secure the vote. But when it comes to election time, forget it. It's all over the board. They promise this, they promise that, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. And then none of it gets fulfilled. I mean, look at the black community. You have a black president you have a black man running for president that says that he is there for the black man, and he is going to make sure that jobs come back, and he's going to get men out of prison and back home with their families, especially ones that are on for minor drug offenses. I'm going to take care of them. I'm going to make sure that you guys get to go to college. I'm going to do this and this and this and this. And none of it happened. None of it. Bill Clinton did the same thing. He goes into a black community and he's pushing. Look at Hillary Clinton. She sat down and did an interview with a couple of black people, and they asked her, what's the one thing that she keeps in her purse all the time? Hot sauce! Really? You're sitting down with black people and you're going to tell them the one thing that you keep in your purse all the time is hot sauce? You think people are that ignorant that they're not going to see right through that garbage? Now, I know that's old news, but what I'm getting at is my red pill. I was a Democrat. I was a Democrat child. I grew up around that. And I started waking up to the realization that the world is not as it seems. People are not as they say they are. People lie. People steal. People do not tell the truth. They manipulate. They do whatever they want and they can in order to put money in their pockets. And that's what it's all about. I'm surprised Donald Trump won, be honest with you. Because both Democrats and Republicans, it's damn near impossible for an average person like you or I to ever become president of this country. Doesn't matter how much qualifications you have. It's based on how much money you have and if people are willing to let you in. It's all a big clique. All of them, they all, it's like a church, basically. You don't get to see the top until you work your way up there and prove yourself. It's all about money. That's the thing about our society, is it's so greed-based. It's all about money. All of it. I mean, let's talk about something really controversial. Something that's so out there that almost everybody that you know will roll your eyes at. Let's do it. Chemtrails. Chemical trails that our government sprays in the sky. Oh, they have no desire to do that. Why would they ever do that? Let me tell you why. It's very simple. The sicker we are, the more money they make off of us. Hitler did the same thing, except instead of spraying crap in the air, they were putting it in the water. Well, our government's putting it in the water too. Fluoride. Do some research. Fluoride actually dulls part of your brain so you're easily manipulated, so you don't think so well for yourself. So they can kind of push you around. Well, what are they spraying in the air? Microaluminum. Same thing. It acts like a heavy metal. It gets into your body and it dumbs you down. It makes you so you can't think for yourself. So suggestions that are coming from somebody that you look up to easily can be persuaded for you to do them. So simple. It's so right there. It's just in your face if you're willing to open your eyes and look. Chemtrails are real. I sat here one day, seriously, from 9 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock at night, and I watched the skies. And at 9 o'clock in the morning, it was perfect, clear, beautiful blue skies. Beautiful blue skies. 9 airplanes went overhead. 9. They all left a trail behind them. Real thin trail. Now, there's a difference between a contrail and a chemtrail. A contrail is just hot water, basically. It's steam. It dissipates after time. A chemical trail doesn't go anywhere. Matter of fact, a chemical trail gets bigger. Well, after a few hours, these 9 tracks across the sky went from little teeny streaks to the entire sky was completely covered in clouds, smeared clouds. They looked like they had streak marks in them. Clouds formations don't work that way. Clouds are big pockets of moisture. They don't streak like that. And then later on that day, the sun is shining, and you can see a ring around the sun that kind of has a metallic look to it. Coppery, kind of metallic look to it. I'm sorry, I've seen it with my own eyes. I've done some research now and really dived into this. I've seen some pictures of military aircraft with these devices inside the belly of these things. It is what it is, people. Take your red pill if you want to be part of the adult community. Otherwise, stay the way you are. Think I'm crazy. I'm nuts. I'm crazy. I'm out there. I am so far left, far right, it's not even funny. I'm psycho. By the way, I would not really consider myself a conservative anymore. I did for a while. I don't know if I'm really a conservative because I do believe in gay marriage. And I do believe in I believe in a lot of things. Pro-choice. I'm still kind of on the fence. I see both sides of it. You're killing an innocent child on one end of it, and on the other end of it, if you're raped and you're 10 years old, your body just can't carry that child. I see an abortion there. I see it. It's like, you know what? Duh, common sense. So, I'm kind of on the fence. I think it's a case-by-case situation. And is it a woman's body? Yeah, the woman is carrying it, but she has another responsibility. And there's another body inside her. And is that part of her body while it's inside her? I have to disagree and say, nope, it's not another body. Or it's not part of your body, it's another body. But that's, like I said, that's still one that I'm on the fence on. I'm still trying to work it out, and I've been trying to work that one out for years, and haven't gotten a whole lot further than where I'm at right now. I'm not a woman, so I can't make those choices, for even my own wife. I just can't do it. It's not me who has to carry it. It's not me who has to do the labor. It's not me who has to put my feet up in stirrups and let a doctor go up there and grab my unborn child and stick forceps behind its neck and let it kick and scream and do all kinds of stuff, and then have a potential for Planned Parenthood to sell the body parts on the internet. Oh, God. That's a whole nother one. So, yeah, let me break this down to you really quick. The red pill is, for most people, is not an instant thing. It is a gradual thing that happens over time. And it's different for everybody. Everybody has their own experience. Not one person is the same. It's just the way it is. This is my experience. This is my point of view. This is my way of thinking. And this is my podcast and my world. And thank God we have a Constitution that says on the First Amendment that I have the freedom of speech. This is my speech. This is how I feel. And this is what I'm saying. This is also my 20th podcast. So I think I'm doing pretty good so far. My goal is to hit at least 356 of these this year. So far, I think I'm doing pretty good, since today is the 17th of the year. 17 days so far in the year, and I'm already at 20 podcasts. So I'm kind of curious to hear what you think, actually. So make yourself a video, add a link down below, or leave a comment in the comment section. I want to know your red pill situation. I want to know what you think. Until then, I love you all so very much. Thank you for listening to me. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And of course, like always, I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.
This has been a Graham's World broadcast brought to you directly from Graham's mind. So stay tuned because there's more to come.